Welcome back. It's the key. Hey, hey. It's a beautiful night. Feels good out tonight. Make sure you catch a little bit of that full moon energy. It's fleeking tonight. There's a couple of people out there that want to get to know God. I'm here to tell you a little bit about God and how you can get to know Him for yourself. God is a lot larger than we can even imagine. He's a lot larger than we can even imagine, than you can begin to imagine. I want you to understand that if you're not with God, if you don't acknowledge God, you're in darkness. This one fact alone is why you're in darkness. It's why you're lost. I would never want to live a day of my life without God in it. And I'm so thankful that I never had to. God desires to have a relationship with you. God desires to have a relationship with you. God created you so that He could have a relationship with you. So that He could have an intimate relationship with you. God knows you wonderfully. But it makes no sense at all if you don't know God. And if you don't know God, get to know God. You know, it's not something that I'm forcing on you. It's not something that you even have to consider. But if you're watching my video right now, you may be searching. You may be wondering, how can you begin to know God? You can start with yourself. You can start with looking at your life and just asking God in. God isn't forceful. Once you allow God in, I promise you, it's one thing you won't never regret. Getting to know God is something that once you begin to know Him, you can't unknow Him. Once you begin to own God, once you begin to claim God, you would never ever disclaim God. You would never ever disown God. Because you will realize the fact that's true, that He would never disown you. He never created waste when He created you. He never created a failure when He created you. He created greatness when He created you. His power is within you. Not knowing God is man's greatest mistake. To disregard that relationship is the largest mistake that you could ever make. Right now is a time where knowing God is probably the best thing that you could ever do right now. Getting to know God right now is one of the best things that you could do, I promise you. As I said it before, God isn't forceful. He's not going to force it on you. But I highly encourage it. I highly encourage it. I'm just being truthful with you. I'm just being honest with you. It's something that you would never regret. Once you allow God in, He begins to speak to you in many different ways. He leads you. He directs your paths. He orders your steps. When you trust God, you know He's not taking you the wrong way. He would never leave you or forsake you. And everything about you, you begin to love it. No matter how big or small it is, no matter how pretty or ugly they might have said it was, or even how ugly you thought a part of you was. God didn't design any part of you in error. And when you trust Him, He only perfects you. It only gets better. It only gets better. Every part of you was perfectly designed for a reason. My God didn't make no mistakes. So I can come on and not be ashamed of my past. I can come on and not be ashamed of anything that I've ever done, because I did it with God. And He's a teacher. He's a father. He's a lover. He's a comforter. He's a shield. He's protection. He's a powerful tool, a weapon. Having him on your side is the best thing you could ever do. And I highly encourage it today. I love you. Forgive yourself for anything you've ever did. Don't think that you're not good enough for God. Because he knows, and he knows what he created when he made you. And he thinks you're good enough. He knows you're good enough. And I'll be the first one to admit it. He's good enough. He deserves a try. He deserves a chance. He's not going to force it on you, so allow him in. And surely it's one thing and a choice that you will never regret. Blessings and peace be with you all.